Welcome to this explainer. I am so incredibly fascinated to explore this topic with you today, mainly because we are standing right on the edge of a massive, fundamental shift in how our entire world operates. We're talking about the rapidly approaching reality of artificial intelligence in the legal system. I know, it sounds a bit like science fiction, but as we're going to see from the source material today, this is literally unfolding right now.
Picture this utopian scenario for a second. The 17-minute lawsuit. You wake up, you file a legal claim through an online portal at, say, 9 a.m. Boom. Instantly, an AI system reads your documents, scans decades of legal precedent, questions both parties, and proposes a fair settlement. If that fails, it instantly conducts a hearing with AI advocates and delivers a mathematically precise decision by 9:17 a.m. It's faster, it's cheaper, there are no administrative delays, and absolutely no massive legal bills. Justice basically becomes instantly accessible to everyone, and you don't even have to step foot inside a courtroom.
But hold on. Let's imagine the darker version. What if that exact same AI rejects your perfectly valid evidence simply because your writing style doesn't mathematically match the successful claimants in its historical data? Or what if it denies your claim because people from your neighborhood rarely win similar cases? You try to appeal, right? But another automated system looks at the exact same data and instantly rejects you all over again. No human judge ever hears your story. No actual person ever takes responsibility. Part 1. The Assistants, AI in the Courtroom Today. To really understand where we're going, we have to look at what AI is actually doing right now. And what's super interesting is how AI is already serving as this incredibly powerful assistant. Right this second, AI can summarize massive troves of documents, like millions of them, in seconds. It can map out complex evidence relationships, instantly identify relevant case law, and even calculate standard financial remedies. It's basically an unparalleled organizational tool, saving human lawyers thousands and thousands of hours of manual labor. And this really brilliantly illustrates where judicial systems currently draw the line. As the Master of the Rolls in England and Wales noted back in May 2026, AI would increasingly support legal and judicial work, but that vision still centers on AI supporting judges, rather than silently replacing judicial authority. So you see, judiciaries are actively planning for this. They want the efficiency, sure, but the human absolutely remains in the driver's seat. Part 2. Prediction versus judgment, the danger of automation. So what happens when we start crossing that boundary? Here is the crucial distinction we need to make. On side A, we have prediction. A machine asks, okay, what have courts usually done in the past? But over on side B, we have judgment. A human judge asks, what should the court do in this specific case, under the law? Law isn't just about statistical correlations. It requires context, an understanding of human intent and moral responsibility. If past historical outcomes contain errors or discrimination, and an AI perfectly copies them, well, it just bakes those errors into our future permanently.
Think of it kind of like a weather model. A weather model can predict rain, right? But it doesn't actually make it rain. A legal model, though, is totally different. If a human judge looks at an AI's prediction of a verdict and just automatically follows it because they blindly trust the machine, the prediction actually causes the outcome. Prediction literally becomes prescription. Over time, the law just stops evolving, and the past becomes this endless self-confirming loop.
Which brings us to a highly deceptive risk known as explanation laundering. Imagine an AI rules against you, and it spits out a beautifully written, totally legally sound paragraph explaining exactly why. But in reality, the AI's internal math just denied you because of your zip code and your income bracket. The AI generates a plausible post hoc narrative that completely hides its actual statistical decision-making process. It looks like fair legal reasoning, but it's a total illusion. When you start looking at the broader pitfalls of AI justice, the risks are honestly staggering. We aren't just talking about a machine using bad logic. We're talking about AI entirely hallucinating fake case law and fake citations. We're talking about deepfake witnesses generating totally synthetic evidence. We're looking at a near future where automated legal agents overwhelm the courts by firing thousands of automated motions at each other in milliseconds. And maybe the scariest part? A simple, silent software update to a model could drastically alter how the law is interpreted for millions of people, overnight, with zero democratic oversight. All of this synthetic media leads to a really fascinating psychological loophole called the liar's dividend. Because we all know highly convincing deepfakes are out there, a genuinely guilty person can now just point to real, actual video evidence of their crimes and confidently tell a jury, nope, that's an AI deepfake. The mere existence of fake evidence makes genuine, hard truth incredibly easy to deny.
Part 3. Bias in the black box. The problem with proxy data.
This leads us to a much deeper systemic issue, because an AI doesn't actually have to overtly discriminate to embed historical biases. The real danger lies in the disconnect between data and reality. On side A, the AI model just sees statistical correlations in historical arrest data. To the machine, it's just pure math. But on side B, we see what that data actually reflects in the real world: institutional attention and policing patterns. If a certain neighborhood historically had way more police patrols, it naturally generated more arrest records. The AI misinterprets that institutional focus as a permanently higher risk for the people living there. It completely confuses correlation with causal responsibility. Now, you might be thinking, well, just program the AI to ignore race, gender, and protected characteristics, right? But you have to consider proxy discrimination variables. An AI doesn't need to know your race or your background if it knows your postcode, your specific language and communication style, your education history, and your previous contact with institutions. The AI can infer demographics through these proxies, effectively denying people justice using the exact same historical biases, but masking the whole shebang as neutral math.
Part 4. The human verdict, reclaiming accountability.
So how do we actually protect ourselves? Fortunately, major regulators are already recognizing this immense danger. As the European Commission notes, the EU AI Act treats certain systems used by judicial authorities to interpret facts and law as high risk. There is a deep, foundational understanding happening right now that handing over the courtroom to unchecked algorithms is a direct threat to our fundamental rights. The absolutely crucial point here is distinguishing what an AI can efficiently do from what fundamentally requires a human. Think about assessing human credibility in trauma or determining moral responsibility and intent. An AI might flag a witness as deceptive just because they avoid eye contact or pause a lot, completely missing the fact that the person is suffering from deep trauma. Things like empathy, the presumption of innocence, balancing fundamental human rights. These things completely resist simple mathematical scoring. And this establishes the ultimate red line, the final exercise of coercive state power, whether that's removing someone's physical liberty, taking away their children, or deporting them, must, without question, remain connected to a human, accountable judicial authority. A purely automated system with no human oversight, no practical right to a human hearing, and no AI kill switch is just completely incompatible with a truly just society. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. A system is not just simply because it is intelligent. AI can organize our facts, it can save us an unbelievable amount of time, and it can absolutely clear court backlogs. But justice is a public process of accountability, where humans are treated as individuals, not statistical groups. So, can a machine ever truly deliver justice without a human? Let that question sit with you for a bit. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.